The Middle Ages was an age of merciless justice and terrifying punishments. Among the many bloody ways of torture that plagued that dark period, one stands out due to the curious tint of cruelty and humiliation called donkey punishment. Though not as widely known as other, especially terrible tortures, this method of torture brought about unbearable pains and physical destruction. By the end of this video, you will find out why it remains the most grim testament to the humanity that is capable of it. Think of a medieval town, dusty streets, thick air, and the gathering of onlookers, awaiting the spectacle of brutality. A man or woman convicted of a crime such as theft, treason, or moral offenses is brought to the town center. And for what was their punishment? The donkey. Punishment devised not only to inflict excruciating pain, but to strip them of their humanity. The mechanics of this torturous device were not quite complex, but rather horrifyingly simple. The poor victim was compelled to sit astride a sharp, wood donkey-shaped beam. To enhance pain, stones could be attached to their feet and pull them downwards, while gravity was pulling their body deeper into the jagged edge. Every second was pure torture, with sharp wood tearing into their flesh and leaving wounds forever physical and mental. But the donkey punishment was not just about pain. It was about humiliation. In front of the crowd, the victim was scorned and degraded, the very spectacle of them riding the donkey a twisted one. The point was obvious: shatter not just the body, but the spirit. The public nature of punishment turned the suffering into a performance and drained all dignity away from the victim as onlookers jeered. Punishment like this usually fitted the moral crimes. Adulterers, blasphemers, and petty thieves, such were common targets. In most of these situations, minor offenses whose usual sentences would have been flogged or jailed, but in making an example of the offender, the donkey punishment was imposed upon him, thus leaving the image that would last in the mind of what could be expected of anyone who dared to break their rules. Fear of pain, shame, and authority was the bedrock of justice in the Middle Ages. The donkey punishment became the perfect tool to inculcate this fear. It was not just the pain that created a scar, but the message that was etched into the minds of the onlookers. Defy the rules of state, and you may be subjected to the same fate. They left the scene shaken, knowing full well they too could find themselves in such an excruciating position. As time passed, society started abandoning these inhuman punishments. By the time of the 18th century, equipment such as the wood donkey was also given up while Europe developed more appropriate and humanitarian policies. Even nowadays, in museums, these tools constitute clear testimony regarding human nature on issues of cruelty and the dark side of justice in former times. The donkey's punishment should be a warning. Torture and humiliation have no place on the path to justice. They express the dark sides of man, which make use of pain as an instrument of domination. As we go back into the future, we will always look to the past for signs that justice be sound, humane, and with dignity for all. Not the ability to inflict pain shows strength, but the courage to build a better world with compassion. If you enjoyed that deep dive into medieval history, subscribe for more stories that will shock and inspire. Every episode brings you another powerful moment from the past that will leave you thinking long after the video ends. Smack that subscribe button and the notification bell to never miss another chilling story from history.